Part 2. Greetings friends. The process of light body activation of the 𝐼𝐋𝐋 layers are connected to the original Christos founders, whom are solar rainbow dragon families from the God worlds. The 𝐼𝐋𝐋 initiation begins when the 12 dimensions of timelines and identities have undergone polarity synthesis and are reset into 0 point. During the 𝐼𝐋𝐋 inner vertical staff integration, the next stage required is to align with the 12 timelines of identity located in the parallel matrix system. These levels of identity in the parallel will braid themselves into your inner vertical channel, which becomes the founder staff. The parallel matrix holds the next stages of the evolutionary realms or universal rounds of time, which allows the perception of events in time that happened in the parallel reality. When these 12 time codes from the parallel matrix are fully integrated, then the mother and father principles of the universal time matrix come into unification and start to build out the extensions of the solar rings that make up the 𝐼𝐋𝐋 body. The 𝐼𝐋𝐋 body allows access in and out of the universal founder realms from within the center of the event horizon generated by the 15 suns or 15D ray system. That includes the perception and awareness of the cosmic Christos family of solar rainbow dragons that source from many different realms that are found in the highest layers of the God world creations. At all levels of spiritual ascension, the cosmic 𝐼𝐈𝐅𝐈 eternal flame transmissions begin another stage of flame body activation, which begins to open density locks that ignite personal light body flame activations, which includes the reconfiguration of the dark matter template. This frequency starts to run through the horizontal triad bodies, also referred to as 𝐻𝐸 bodies, that are encased within the outer membrane of a larger radial body. This begins the stages of planetary eucharistic to personal eucharistic light body activation, in which the higher God selves will systematically begin to purge the shadow selves and spiritually heal each of the spherical domains that holds the identities that are having an experience in another timeline and different density. This means that with the return of Cosmic Mother, there are 𝐼𝐈𝐅𝐈 Holy Spirit blue flame heart activations taking place on each density layer of our consciousness body. Areas of corrupted dark matter and dark mother lunar architecture are being filled with re-encryptions that heal our black subtle forces and shadow body. This may appear to sprout plasma flowers that sing celestial songs of the Christos Sophia within our energy centers. This Holy Spirit activation will start at the ego personality layers to purge false identities and then move through the organic or inorganic identities on the soul plane and then process out through the monadic layer extensions. The inner Holy Spirit of the activated inner heart flame will begin a process of polarity synthesis of the discordant energies of the shadow forms in order to return them into the 0 point, gradually dissolving the polarity and AI programs on each density level to restore the overall energetic patterns back to balance or neutral. Depolarization, folding identities into radial body. The cosmic clock reuse initiation begins a global awakening of the eucharistic body, which will function to purge and detoxify the foreign material, parasites, shadow forms, clones and artificial intelligence from out of the planet and humanity. This planet is about to get extremely unhospitable to any non-human species acting as energy parasites or controllers to enslave the human race. This is a tough realization because it surfaces more about who is who on planet Earth, and whether the organic God source currents generate biological and spiritual healing or rapidly cause the physical body to expire. The shifts and changes happening on Earth will reveal more to us about who is actually supposed to be incarnated here and who is not. The implications of the Cosmic Mother Emerald Order activation upon humanity presents us with many wild cards when considering the current outer agendas. The ongoing depolarization of the energy fields and personality aspects can generate levels of extreme mental and emotional instability in the most fragile and traumatized minds. This year, when observing the chaotic outerscape, we may need to remember that it is certain that God is benevolent and has a divine ascension plan for liberating the planet and humanity. For some, that will be hard to comprehend. The eucharistic light body activation begins a methodical process of depolarization within each of the centers of the spherical domains that make up the horizontal shields of the 3 mental body identities that are held within the 𝐻𝐸 bodies. This process of depolarization of the energy fields begins in the ego personality, then moves into soul, monadic, avatar and 𝐼𝐋𝐋 selves. Each density of the stations of identity will integrate and unify into the light body via fully dissolving itself into the outer membrane of the ascending identity radial body, which then forms into the next stage of development in the plasma luminary body. As previously mentioned during the winter solstice activations of 2020, the plasma luminary body of the golden sun DNA activation is the default ascending vehicle for the majority of the Earth population. The Paleodorians, founders and Christos star seeds will resume their biological ascension process into the unique diamond sun arrangements that are based on their genetic ascendancy and the pre-incarnate choices and missions made by the higher God selves. Many in the latter group have chosen to be ascension prototypes, and as such there are many types of agreements to embody sections or portions of multiple species DNA for a range of longer-term bioregenesis possibilities. As well as the possibility of completing the tour of duty in this universal time matrix by embodying the full Emerald Covenant contract as Solar Dragon timekeepers for the Emerald Sun DNA. There is a tri-fold energetic skin that forms from the dark matter into the Rasha body that encases all of the station of identity timelines and folds them into our spirit bodies. This folding occurs in simultaneous trance-time in the eternal now moment. Having this organic structure while being the constant observer of the now moment, along with heart-based intention of living and being your heroic probability allows for more rapid shadow body healing and transmutation. The embedded mesh of shadows, dead energy miasma and corrupted elementals which forms into the karmic template of energy blockages can be more easily released when our consciousness is primarily focused upon God and spiritually healthy things. Thus, it has been relayed that by choosing one's heroic probability and living in the intention of higher awareness to be of service to God, this burns off more karmic dead energy than just about anything and is a very helpful tool for fast tracking. The folding of all soul and monadic identities into unification within the outer skin of the radial body collapses all lower density membranes in which the individual will activate solar liquid plasma rainbow currents. This is designed to spiritually heal the layers of identity stationed on any density layer in order to allow for many more ascension-related options when leaving this plane. The process is that the cosmic Amaria transmits azurite crystal codes which begin to release density locks in the 8D Azura point. And with each of the trinity of the layers that make up density locks that are opened, it opens access into the next layer of identity and its density level in order to synthesize the polarities and integrate those particular energies back into 0 point. The personality releases 3 density locks and then folds up those layers of the consciousness life streams into unification with the light body. Then the soul releases 3 density locks and then folds all of its identity extensions into the light body, and the monad releases 3 density locks and then folds all of its identity extensions into the light body, and so forth. This depolarization event will be happening in those who have not been prepared to understand planetary ascension, multidimensionality and the reality of the soul, spirit and God. Thus, we may observe and experience some very surreal changes in the environment as well as the ongoing sensation of walking in a dreamlike or unreal world. Father-Son 369 codes for sextant matrix correction. The recent reclamation of the solar rod template embodied by Ezekiel has rippled out into the next stage of correcting the Father-Son masculine principle coding that is held within the solar risic embodiment levels. Attaining this level was required for finally addressing the AI net mutations and sextant matrix inversions on planet and starting the process of resetting the 369 instruction sets through the anchoring of living Azothian solar fire golden elemental re-encryptions. The sextant matrix is a part of the more advanced bio-clock function of the human light body system which has been tampered with and damaged through inverted spiraling currents also known as metatronic reversal. The sextant matrix runs metatronic reversal frequencies in our monadic layers of light body which compact our consciousnesses and harm the body on the biological time clock of death. It is the instrument used to measure and set the angle and rotation of the energetic current between the gender centers in the various positions throughout the holographic template. When our gender center is splitting apart from the extreme internal polarity of energies, it is the sextant matrix which is made inoperable, damaged or broken. This is why our bodies die on Earth with excessive molecular compaction, and we suffer deterioration through an aging disease that is not organic to angelic humans. The sextant matrix function is to designate the measurement of spherical angles and rotation of the counter-spiraling energies that ultimately create a functioning Merkaba layer in each Hova body or at each completed harmonic triad level in our universal system, 3D, 6D, 9D, 12D. Ultimately, the sextant matrix function is to unify the internal polarity of energies through merging the inner gender centers, and like an opening of an umbrella, create the field burst which extends outward in the Merkaba field layer. The sextant matrix was targeted by assorted anti-hierogamic and gender splitter technologies that generated gender and sexual damage that is embedded in the human physical body and light body. As the cosmic clock Ryush initiation ripples throughout the planet this year, the sextant matrix functions will be impacted in the population. It may be interesting to observe how that will resolve itself or translate into the lived human experience. Also, as a direct result of the Luciferian covenant, the Na groups exposed the planet to other invaders that spread death marks and beast coding into the nets, which generated a host of genetic mutations in the lower section of the matter field of 1D, 2D, 3D. These net mutations are being purged out of the shadow body in this cycle, which has generated many types of inflammation-related physical symptoms. These are primarily sore miasma skin rashes, which include shifts occurring in the bone, skin, and blood matrix, with extensive realignments occurring within the entire fascia connective tissue system. The Father-Son codes are directly connected to the triple solar masculine Christ template that holds the Build the Rod 369 architecture, which further can shapeshift into and transmigrate as the Rizq consciousness that takes form within the traveling vehicle of the solar dragon god body. The correction of the planetary rod instruction set and the larger domain pillars of the 369 and the cosmic clock are being directly held by Ezekiel's solar rod in the position of the 8D Gaian matrix. Now this victorious achievement starts unwinding the layers of embedded sextant matrix inversions recorded as net mutations and corrupted elementals. After the unwinding, the correct 369 rod architecture anchors and the grid network begins to correctly align and reconnect with the emerald crystal heart of the Earth, which continues to flower and build out an emerald order superhighway of vertical, horizontal and diagonal communication lines. The Father-Son codes appear as lilac spiraling currents coming from Ezekiel's Gaian 8D body, naturally resetting the sextant matrix architecture and braiding lilac codes into the Holy Father arc waves that are further supporting corrected rod alignments for the triple solar masculine Christ. We have observed the same lilac colors appearing to animate and braid themselves within 3 solar dragon Ouroboros lines that are encircling the entire Earth Terran Gaian matrix. With the revelatory onset of Father-Son 369 codes building the correct rod architecture, we can honor Nikola Tesla by taking into consideration his long-famous quote, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6 and 9, then you would have the key to the universe." As a starseed brother on the Christos mission attempting to crack the mathematical code of the universe that is responsible for the way energy comes into matter, he was absolutely correct. When studying circles, 360 degrees, which is 3 plus 6 equals 9, Tesla discovered that no matter how many times you divided 1, the outcome would always be a 3, 6 or 9. He knew these 3 numbers held great significance in the universe, nature and in the organic human blueprint. Cosmic Clock 1. Guardian Host has given the example that the magic cube with 3, 6 and 9 are the keys derived to material manifestation interdimensionally, that corresponds to all things in the externally manifested realms. These are the horizontal math keys that build the clock shield and repair the damage from the alien machinery in the horizontal grids. Knowing this has helped our groups repair the planetary architecture in order to rebuild the solar rod for Ezekiel, which now extends corrections throughout the planetary rod instruction sets supporting the embodiment of the authentic divine masculine. Correcting dark matter from terraforming technology. New developments are occurring in the re-encryption of raw materials of elementals that appear to be designed to override and transform the corrupted black subtle energies and dark matter that was being used by alien machinery and artificial intelligence to generate an assortment of terraforming technologies. Terraforming technologies are defined as those black hole technologies used by the invaders to generate quantum entanglement and atomic harnesses between the Earth and the phantom matrices. They have created many artificial realities with those same advanced AI technologies. Some extend to breakaway civilizations and secret space programs used by Black Sun human-based military factions. It is the electromagnetic reversal weaponry and their extensive alien machinery networks that have been used to infect the planetary elementals and instruction sets, so that they would generate a molecular bond between the organic living substances and the artificial dead substances. Additionally, there are red cube cloned layers that had hijacked the 369 instruction sets for lunar or AI rods that have been used in military operations for abducting humans for super soldier applications. The red cube artificial rod system has been projecting the archetypal forces of the false king of tyranny with thought streams of aggressive anger, violence, destruction and rape to the 369 masculine right side channels to incite the extreme polarity of red wave victim-victimizer programs. This alien machinery running on artificial timelines is unwinding and is the means by which the NA have been energetically parasitizing and vampirizing the living consciousness forms on the planet. This inverted foundation was built upon the ongoing corruption and infection of black subtle forces, artificial magnetism and dark matter control, which was the basis of terraforming Earth into a transhumanist prison similar to the Terminator series. Further, being ruled and administered by these non-human entities who seek to control the Skynet around the planet to ensure compliance to techno-totalitarianism and global slavery. These entities and AI hybrids inhabit a consciousness body that is made up of these same corrupted elementals and black shadowy forces, therefore black hole technologies like black goo are hospitable to them and their warring way of life. This is finally coming to an end in our lifetime. Repairing planetary Russia, black crystal sands, void sun. To repair dark matter and black subtle force functions and the corrupted elemental basis of infected carbon molecules that generated assorted net mutations, there have been several organic expressions from the God source appearing to neutralize these conditions. These new forms of dark matter and other organic God technology designed to repair the Rasha body are sourcing from the God worlds and Universal Mother Dark Matter Matrix, or Harmonic Universe 6. Some females may experience the sensation of birthing with womb contractions as sympathetic resonance to the creation of these newly forming sophianic structures in the planetary body. One emanation appears to be living sentient black crystal sands that feel alive and are filling the dark matter and in-between spaces, as if in a sandstorm in the middle of the Gobi Desert. Another appears to be a mother and father gender creation of an organic black subtle force mass in the shape of a transfiguring dark matter sun, which is also referred to as the heavenly void sun. The mother heavenly void sun or the father heavenly void sun appear to be united and building gender corrections in many formats for another layer of combining eucharistic architecture for the planetary elementals, so that the human elemental body will be purged of shadow forms that were generated by the net mutations. With the black sands or void suns, they appear as the backdrop in the dark matter fields to manifest any version of colors imaginable within the liquid rainbow light seeds that burst forth into lush plasma flowers, unfurling into a beautiful flowering garden. This particular Holy Father coding seems to merge with the Holy Mother coding within the dark matter template in order to seed more combinations of instruction sets through dragon eggs, through which to birth into a mother-father ionic pair unified rainbow plasma flowering Eucharistic body. With the corrected 369 rod architecture, the 12-12 spin opens into the entire radial body, and the solar masculine electrical Christ tones resonate with the Sophianic female 13-13 magnetic aspects and spark lights within the womb, which then spirals out and circulates throughout the light body. This appears to serve as an extraction of lunar forces and foreign energies from out of the sexual centers, and begins a sequence of healing activations for the emerald crystal heart and Sophianic layers. This emanation also seems to have bonding impacts between the antiparticle and particle layers of creation matrices and acts as an antidote to gender-splitting technologies, generating a type of bonding attraction that happens to unify gender principle at every level of creation. This level of the unified male-female Eucharist appears to be important for correcting the biological male and female sex organs and the bodily fluids involved in the shared process of co-creation of new life, as well as the process of manifesting creative energies in the physical body. The female organs, especially the uterus womb, are undergoing a deep cleansing and recalibration as the result of repairs and corrections happening in the biological sex functions, as well as the alchemical process of male and female intercourse when co-creating children on Earth. This is happening now, and this year begins our spiritual journey to seek truth and finally begin to heal from what has happened to humanity. Namaste. See you later, special friends.